Welcome to Tirthankar Mahavir University, Moradabad Center for Distance and Online Education Program MA Education Course Philosophical Foundation of Education Course Code DMAE 101. Unit 2. The name of Unit 2 is Philosophy and Education. Objectives of Unit 2 are after reading this unit, the student will be able to discuss the meaning of philosophy of education, explain the unlimited scope of philosophy of education, enumerate the various functions of philosophy of education. First, introduction on philosophy of education, concept of philosophy of education, functions of philosophy of education, speculative normative analysis, logical empiricism, positive relativism, etc. First of all, introduction. Philosophy is a search for general understanding of values and reality by chiefly speculative rather than observational means. It signifies a natural and necessary urge in human being to know themselves and the world in which they live and move and have their being. Western philosophy remained more or less true to the etymological meaning of philosophy in being essentially an intellectual quest for truth. Hindu philosophy is intensely spiritual and has always emphasized the need for practical realization of truth. Philosophy is a comprehensive system of ideas about human nature and the nature of reality we live in. It is a guide for living because the issues it addresses are basic and pervasive, determining the course we take in life and how we treat other people. Hence, we can say that all the aspects of human life are influenced and governed by the philosophical consideration. As a field of study, philosophy is one of the oldest disciplines. It is considered as a mother of all the sciences. In fact, it is at the root of all knowledge. Education has also drawn its material from different philosophical bases. Philosophy provides answer to all the ultimate questions with education. Fichte says the art of education will never attain complete clearness without philosophy. In fact, philosophy is a sun around which all the aspects of education rotate. It gives direction to education by providing certain guidelines. In this way, philosophy is regarded as the cornerstone for the foundation of education. Gentile is very right when he remarks that the process of education cannot proceed on right lines without the help of philosophy. Now, let us concentrate on what is philosophy, what is education, what is educational philosophy, and what is the relationship between philosophy and education. First of all, meaning of philosophy. The word philosophy has been derived from two Greek words, philos and sophia. The term philos means love, the concept sophia means wisdom. Therefore, philosophy means love of wisdom. फिलॉस का अर्थ है प्रेम तथा सोफिया का अर्थ है ज्ञान. लव ऑफ विजडम यानी ज्ञान से प्रेम को दर्शन या फिलॉसफी कहा जाता है. इट रेफर्स टू द सर्च फॉर विजडम, truth or fact and the relationship among ideas. The man who engages himself in this effort is called philosopher. In the word of Plato, he who has a taste for every sort of knowledge and who is curious to learn and is never satisfied may be justified term as philosopher. Now, the definition of philosophy. Different philosophers have defined the term philosophy according to their own nature, reflection, and thinking. The following definition it make it clear for us to understand philosophy. According to Raymond, philosophy is an unceasing effort to discover the general truth that lies behind the particular fact, to discern also the reality that lies behind appearances. According to Henderson, philosophy is a search for a comprehensive view of nature, an attempt at a universal explanation of the nature of things. According to Aristotle, philosophy is a scientific science which investigates the nature of being as it is in itself. According to Plato, philosophy aims at knowledge of eternal nature of things. According to Bertrand Russell, philosophy, like all other studies, aims primarily at knowledge. According to Fichte, philosophy is the science of knowledge. According to Brightman, philosophy may be defined as the attempt to think truly about human experience as whole and to make our whole experience intelligible. According to Radhakrishnan, philosophy is a logical inquiry into the nature of reality. According to Harold Titus, a person's philosophy is the sum of his fundamental beliefs and convictions. According to R.W. Seller, philosophy is the persistent attempt to gain insight into the nature of the world and of ourselves by means of systematic reflection. According to Marcus Tullius Cicero, philosophy is the mother of all arts and the true medicine of mind. According to Aristotle, philosophy is a science which discovers the real nature of supernatural elements. According to B.R. Taneja, philosophy, being a mother of discipline, all arts and sciences look to it for the solution of their problem. According to Kant, philosophy is the science and criticism of cognition. According to Premnath, philosophy is open mindedness cultivated through the rigorous discipline of the mind. However, from this definition, we may define thus philosophy is the truth of wisdom gained out of human knowledge and experience as a consequence of his interaction with the unfolded facts of nature. It is clear that philosophy is an attempt to answer the ultimate question of life. It also means the search for knowledge, wisdom, and the relationship between the variable and their impact on nature. Thus, it is an attitude towards human life and universe where the effort is made to search for truth on the basis of logical inquiry. To analyze the above definitions, we may arrive at the following points of understanding. First is philosophy is born out of specific experiences, special circumstances, and situations. Therefore, difficult persons have adopted different philosophies of life in accordance with the specific circumstances and situation wherein they spend their lives. Philosophy has a deep knowledge pursuit and it provides a shape analysis the knowledge base of each every discipline. Scientific inquiry is the base of philosophy and philosophy has ultimate relation with science. As as we are aware that science deals with realities of nature and life, that is animal, plant or human. Those realities are integral part of human life. These are the ways to generate knowledge and experiences of the child and further it goes to form philosophy. One of the main features of philosophy is that it comes out of specific experiences, special circumstances and situations. All those persons may be called as philosophers who in one way or the other search for truth and reality. Human being undergoes with various kinds of experiences throughout their life, from birth to death. These experiences provide them with new knowledge, and this search of knowledge makes the individual a philosopher. There are different meaning of philosophy. Sometimes it refers to a certain method of thinking. As with all thought, philosophy arises out of an attempt to solve a problem, to make sense out of a confusing situation, or to explain an inadequacy. But unlike most kinds of thought, it has no immediate objective. In other words, we may say that philosophy is concerned not so much with solving a confronting problem as with finding as deeper meaning of problem. Knowledge of philosophy is fundamental not only to an understanding of education as a whole, but also to decide or select the techniques of teaching and their effective use. For example, a teacher teaches the principle of the square root in a class. We may find that the methodology used by the teacher is suitable for the understanding of the children. The teacher knows psychological condition to create an appropriate classroom situation, but has he done enough in teaching every people to solve problems involving square root? Is the task of a teacher simply to impart the subject matter specified in the syllabus? Or is education a means of improving all human behavior? Can it be model for thinking? Can it help us to understand the nature of the universe and our place in it? Such are the questions that philosophies in general and educational philosophy in particular strive to answer. Generally, analysis and synthesis are the two basic functions of philosophy. The first one is philosophy as analysis, and another one is philosophy as synthesis. So, first of all, philosophy as analysis. If you go through the history of philosophy, you may find that most of the philosophers were not metaphysicians. Rather, they were analysts, such as John Locke, Berkeley, Hume, Mill, Murray, Hegel, etc. The analytical philosophers examined such concepts as mind, truth, causes, and assessment. We may observe that under analytic philosophy, an object conveys different meaning under different context. The different meaning they convey in a different context. Today, analytical approaches of philosophy dominate across the world. Analytical philosophy clarifies what we already know and points of inconsistencies in our thinking. It does not build a new system of thought. Second one, philosophy as synthesis. The other main function of philosophy is more traditional one. It attempts to synthesize all knowledge and man's total experience. Here the emphasis is upon the anticipated result rather than the tools and methods employed. This view was held by some early philosophers who did not claim to be a wise man but merely lovers of wisdom. They claimed that their role was to help others in the search of wisdom. So, in this sense, philosophy is an attempt to give meaning to one's existence through the continued search for a comprehensive and consistent answer to basic problem. This makes philosophers an active person. For example, Socrates himself took philosophy as an activity. In the words of Plutarch, another philosopher mentioned about Socrates is Socrates neither set up benches for his student, nor sat on a platform, nor set house for his teacher. He was philosophizing all the time while he was joking, while he was drinking, while he was soldering. Whenever he met you on the street and met the end when he was in person and drinking the poison. He was the first to start that all your life, all the time in everything you do. Whatever you are doing in the time for philosophy.